back to my channel, Planty Princess 92. Here with me I have my daughter Sienna, who also now has her own YouTube, Krabby Princess 92.
Yeah.
So check out her channel, subscribe if you like her content. Anyways, let's get started in today's video. I have two bromeliads here in which I'm going to show you the difference, but also I want to show you how I'm going to remove the pups. These are generally pretty easy care plants. In the cup here, they have it's called the cup or like the tank of the flower, and that's where you basically put all the water. They like to be potted in a really airy mix, so orchid bark would be perfect for them. And I have these potted in pure orchid bark, so I don't mix any soil in with them or anything like that because they really like the aeration to their roots. And also, like I said, the medium doesn't get watered, so all the water goes into the cup, and they feed off the water that way. So this one here is going to be the one that I'm going to be removing the pups from. Now I do have two here because I just wanted to show you the difference of the two. This one is definitely, they both have pups. This one is definitely ready for the pups to be removed, and it's also almost like on its way out. If you don't already know, bromeliads normally only flower once in their lifetime, and then after they flower, that's when they start producing their pups. So that's kind of actually pretty interesting, especially because a lot of people think that this and this is their flower, and it's not. I will insert a clip right over here of what their flower actually looks like so you can see what a bromeliad flower looks like. It's actually kind of really pretty. So the tops that we normally think are the flowers, that's what comes down and develops into these leaves. You know, they come in pinks, whites, sometimes oranges, yellows, reds. Well, as they develop and grow, those leaves split down and turn green to become the actual leaves that photosynthesize the energy for the plant. So the difference between the two is I'll quickly show you. As you see here, this one is starting to really brown. It's starting to kind of die off at the top here. It's getting really crunchy. It's getting really crispy. The color is very dull. It used to be like a really, really bright magenta pink. And that is now starting to fade out because it is getting ready to be on its way out. This one has produced 2 pups for me so far, and to be able to remove the pups for the safest way for the plant, for the pups to be able to survive, for the survival rate to be, at its best, I would recommend removing the pups when they are about 1/3 the size of the mother plant. So here I have a pup, and as you can see, it is pretty tall. It's about 1/3 the size. And then here I have another pup, also about 1/3 the size of the mother plant. So those are the 2 I will be removing today. I am going to try one semi-hydroponically in leca, and then one just how the mother plant is here in orchid bark. I'm really interested to see the difference between the 2, how they grow, how quick they flower between one another, and all that, and how many pups they produce each. So that is going to be really interesting. And now, although this one is on its way out because it is browning, after I cut these pups off, I'm not going to toss it. I'm going to put it back in its spot. I will let it continue to produce more pups if it does. And I'm just gonna leave it be and continue to care for it as I normally would until it officially dies for itself. So real quick before we get started, I will show you the other one. This one I am not removing because I don't think it's quite ready. It needs a little bit more time since it's a little bit larger. As you can see, the size difference here, this one is significantly larger, so the pups aren't quite ready. This one has a pup here, 1, but it's small, 2, 3rd one coming in there, that's really small, 4, and 5, but they are not the 3rd of the mother plant, so they're not ready to be removed. But if you can tell the difference, now this is a white one, but you can still see that it has a lot of color to it. It's not so dull and, looking like it's kind of dying off like this, this now purple looking one kind of is here. All right, so you ready to get started?
Yeah.
Okay. So now I would recommend doing this on a cutting board just so that you don't cut any of the surfaces that you're working on. I am going to try to cut these just with my sterilized shears, but I also do have a sterilized kitchen knife just in case I can't get through enough to clip it. That way I can kind of like make a clean slice without injuring the mother plant or the pup. So first things first, let's get all this stuff out of our way here. And I am going to take it out of its trash pot.
Everyone be careful.
Yep, I will be careful. And it probably will be easiest to just take this whole thing out. And repot this one as well once I'm done. I think that would be the easiest thing to do here. So I have this all out. I'm going to rinse this off real fast and then I will be right back to show you what it looks like and cut some of these pups off. Okay, so as you see here, I have this all cleaned off. There was a lot of orchid bark still stuck to the bottom. I didn't really want to rip them off because I didn't want to disturb the roots of the mother plant too much. But this is kind of what we're working with. It kind of has like a stump sort of thing going on there at the bottom. And then has, you know, the feeder roots coming off of that. So I think the easiest way to do this, there is no easy way to do this, don't let it fool you, is, you know, I'm going to kind of just try to, you know, break it off as if you would like a corn on the cob. And if I notice that it's not coming off real smooth, then I'll get in there with either my shears or my knife, depending on, you know, what I think I should use to finish this. So I'm going to very carefully break this off. And as you can see, it even came off with a little set of roots, which is really great, really great. Hold this for me, over here. Yep. This leaf was from the mother plant, so if I can carefully detach this, I'm going to, and just throw that away. So that's one pup. Now this one, it will be, since it came off with only like one piece of bark, I'm gonna take that off, and then this will be the one I do semi-hydroponically. Thank you. You want to try to do this one? Here, you try to do this one. So you're just gonna kind of do it like a corn in the cob. Just kind of, you'll hear it start to crack. Go ahead, keep going.
I don't know what I'm doing.
It's all right. Pull it off. You got that. There we go.
Oh God.
Get this leaf off as well. So now this one I will just repot back in here with orchid bark and put that one back in its spot. So here we have second pup. Also came off with a little roots, which is great. If you take them too early, they don't have roots of their own yet. So that also makes the survival rate a little lesser than if you would wait till they're the appropriate size. So we'll go ahead and do this one first really quick. Get this potted up in some orchid bark. And now because the pups don't have a cup like the mother's plants do, I will go ahead and keep the orchid bark. Now, obviously I don't have that problem with the leca because it sits in water and it's just constantly, you know, it's just constantly a little, the leca balls are constantly a little moist through capillary action. So I'm only gonna have to worry about the one potted up in orchid bark, and I will keep it semi-moist, not drenched, but I will mist it every few days and let that soak through the bottom, like a good misting, so that I know that it's draining all the way out and getting in contact with these roots until it opens up enough that it has a cup. That's when I will stop watering the medium and only dump the water into the cup like you do for the mature bromeliads. Okay, you want to go ahead and start scooping some orchid bark into our pot here. You can use your hands or you can use your scoop. So put a good layer in the bottom. Go ahead, put that in there.
Thank you.
And now I will just hold this here while you go ahead and fill around it.
I have no idea what I'm doing, so...
She's learning. She's doing great. Ladies and gentlemen, can I get a round of applause for Sienna? My miniature gardener. Okay, keep going. Almost there. Perfect. A couple more scoops and I think we should be golden.
Great.
So cute. These things are so cute. The next bromelia I get, I want to get the ones that are like, I think they're called like a flaming sword or something like that. They're kind of like flat and they kind of like fan out sort of like a tail or something like that, or like a flame. I really like those. Go ahead and put a tiny bit right there. Okay, that's perfect. So here we go. Whoops. We have this one all potted up in the orchid bark. And that's how this one will be finished up here. Again, I will mist this, keep it moist until it develops that cup, and then I will water it as we would for the mother plant. All right, I can go ahead and get this out of the way because we are officially done with any of this. And we can do the semi-hydro one here. Now this is small enough that I could use a 4-inch pot. I'm going to go with the 6-inch pot only because they do get quite large, and if I pot it in a 4-inch pot, I'm just going to have to repot it up into a 5 or a 6-inch pot really quickly. So I think for me it would be easier to just put this in the bigger pot right away, because I don't think it is going to be too big that it's going to disturb the plant much, especially because it's going to be growing semi-hydroponically. So I'm going to go ahead and just right away put this one in a 6-inch pot. What color did you use for there? White. Okay. So go ahead. Now when you kind of dig in, just kind of go like this so that way they don't spill like that everywhere. Just do little scoops at a time, okay? You can even use your hands too if you need to. Actually, what would probably be easier is, yeah, this is what we're gonna do. Let me just dump some, and then we'll hold it. Here, you can go ahead and finish dumping this. Scoop some out. Okay, hold on, we'll need to do some on this side. Okay. That's it. And then here's the one that I'm going to do semi-hydroponically. Now, as I start off with all of my new plants semi-hydroponically, I do eventually use the micro grow, micro bloom, and flora. Yeah, flora. What are they called? Flora Micro, Flora Grow, Flora Bloom. There we go. I do use those nutrients for all of my semi-hydroponic plants, but when I first start them out, as I will do with this one, I am going to just use water, Newton Super Thrive for the first week or so, just to get it adjusted to being in a new pot all by itself and detached from the mother plant. But then after that week or two, depending on, you know, how it's doing, then I will start adding in the nutrients that it needs. So that's all for today's video. I hope this helped you learn how to remove the pups from your bromeliads. I think it's very interesting that they only bloom once normally in their lifetime, and then after that, that's when they start to, make their pups. Thank you guys for joining me in another video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you're interested in the content I provide. Don't forget to check out Miss Krabby Princess 92. And as always, every plant's a princess. Bye.